I've been thinking a lot about one question that Outlander fans can't shake. What if the prequel Blood of My Blood is hiding the clues that will explode in Outlander Season 8? Now that the prequel's first season has wrapped, the connections are becoming impossible to ignore. Outlander has always loved blurring lines between past and future, using time not just as a plot device but as a way to link families across generations. And this time, those connections might be far more important than any of us expected. Before we go deeper, here's a quick spoiler warning for Outlander: Blood of My Blood. Now, let's jump straight in because Season 8 might change everything we thought we knew about Jamie, Claire, and the world around them. One thing the prequel brought back that fans didn't realize they missed so badly was the unexpected bond between young Murdoch Fitzgibbons and young Jocasta Mackenzie. These two were never written as lovers in Diana Gabaldon's books, yet the show created a connection so memorable that viewers embraced it like canon. In Blood of My Blood, we meet their younger selves, played by fresh actors who still managed to capture that spark audiences loved. The chemistry might be unspoken, but it's unmistakable. You can already feel the roots of a bond that once surprised the entire fandom. Of course, by the time we reach Outlander Season 8, Murdoch is gone. His death in Season 5 was heartbreaking. But Outlander has never allowed something like death to stop a character from returning. Time travel, memories, visions. This universe bends its own rules constantly, especially for characters fans adore. Murdoch himself was spared earlier in the show, even though he originally died at Culloden in the books. That change created room for his whole romance with Jocasta, a storyline that wouldn't have existed otherwise. With that in mind, who's to say the final season won't circle back again? A flashback, a time ripple, anything is possible. If the writers saved Murdoch once simply because fans loved him, they might do it again. But that's only one of the threads the prequel, placed in Season 80's path. Blood of My Blood centered on two major love stories: the early lives of Jamie's parents Brian Fraser and Ellen Mackenzie, and Claire's parents Henry and Julia Beauchamp. In a twist no one expected, the show revealed that these couples actually knew each other when they were young. This is completely new to Outlander lore and opens doors to connections that were never hinted at before. Throughout the prequel's 10 episodes, both couples fought against their families, traditions, and dangerous circumstances just to be together. And although the finale made it feel like they had finally earned a peaceful ending, the truth is far from simple. For Brian and Ellen, their story ends with a striking image: bright, burning crosses spreading across the Scottish hills. These flames signal the beginning of the Jacobite uprising, an event powerful enough to ripple through the lives of everyone in their world. Brian and Ellen had barely escaped all their family conflicts. They were finally ready to begin their life together. But the war that follows doesn't care about love or timing. We already know that they eventually managed to build Lallybroch, so their relationship survives for a time. But there's no doubt that the rebellion will pull them apart long before that happens. Outlander thrives on bittersweet stories, the kind where love holds strong but the world around the lovers does not. Then we have Henry and Julia Beauchamp, whose ending feels even more mysterious and possibly even more directly connected to the main series. Their final scenes show them trying to travel through the Standing Stones at Cray Na Dun with their infant son, William. The big question haunting their story is simple yet massive. Can William time travel? Henry believes the ability may be genetic, and since both parents can travel, it's reasonable to think William might inherit the gift. And technically, he's already traveled once. Julia crossed the stones while pregnant with him. But as fans know, Outlander's rules of time travel are anything but predictable. Henry and Julia's plan was heartbreaking but practical. One parent would attempt to take William through the stones, while the other stayed behind to protect him if something went wrong. But when their enemies closed in, Henry made a split-second choice that changed everything. He grabbed Julia and made all three of them touch the stone together. The show ends right at that moment. We don't know where they landed, when they landed, or what happened next. But we do know one thing: they didn't return to the time where young Claire would grow up with them. Outlander has always been clear: Claire's parents died when she was young. Whatever happens to them after touching that stone, it won't be simple. Something tragic or strange must occur, and that uncertainty makes their storyline one of the most powerful threads leading into Season 8. Here's where everything becomes even more intriguing. The prequel might actually be connected to one of the biggest twists from Outlander Season 7, the possibility that Jamie and Claire's first daughter, Faith Fraser, might still be alive. This revelation shook fans to the core, because Faith's death in Paris was one of the saddest scenes in the show's early years. But then, in Blood of My Blood, Julia Beauchamp sings "I Do Like to Be Beside the Seaside" to baby William, the same song Fanny Beardsley sang in Season 7, which is what first sparked Claire's suspicion that Faith might be alive. That match feels way too specific to be an accident. It suggests that the writers are weaving the timelines together. Could Henry and Julia's time travels somehow connect to Faith's fate? Could Faith's survival be tied to their journey through the stones? It's only speculation for now, but it's hard to ignore the possibility. Now, let's talk about the biggest clue we have for Outlander Season 8, the new trailer. The trailer begins by walking viewers through Jamie and Claire's long, emotional journey, their first meeting, their travels across continents, the losses they suffered, and the love that carried them through every impossible moment. It feels like the show's way of reminding us how far these two have come and how much they've endured together. Then it cuts to glimpses of the new season. Jamie and Claire are older now. Their hair is grayer. Their faces show the passage of time, but their connection is as strong as ever. They're back at Fraser's Ridge with Brianna, Roger, and their children. It feels warm, nostalgic, almost like a calm before the storm. And then the trailer delivers its biggest shock. Jamie is shown reading a book written by historian Frank Randall. In it, Frank describes the impact of the Revolutionary War on the backcountry and reveals that the Ridge's founder James Fraser died in the war. This storyline comes directly from Diana Gabaldon's 9th novel, Go Tell the Bees That I Am Gone. For a while, fans worried the show might ignore this part of the story, especially since Season 7 didn't mention it at all. But the trailer confirms it. The show is finally bringing this piece into play. In the books, Brianna finds a hidden letter from Frank inside that same book, one of those emotional, surprising details Outlander is famous for. The show hasn't revealed whether that letter will appear, but the fact that Jamie reads Frank's account of his own death already sets the stage for huge emotional stakes. Curiously, the trailer says nothing about Faith. There's no hint, no clue, no leftover thread from Season 7's shocking twist. The silence almost feels intentional. Either the writers are saving this twist for later in the season, or it means that Faith's storyline and Jamie's recorded death storyline might collide in the biggest way possible. Season 8 only has 10 episodes to wrap up everything. That's not a lot of time. Jamie and Claire need an ending worthy of their journey. Brianna, Roger, Ian, Rachel, Lord John, and William all need closure too. And on top of character arcs, the season has to balance two gigantic mysteries: Faith's fate and Jamie's recorded death. Add in the threads from Blood of My Blood, like Henry and Julia's time travel and the hidden connections between families, and Season 8 suddenly becomes one of the most ambitious chapters in the entire series. If the writers manage to tie all these storylines together, past, present, and future, it could deliver a full-circle ending that connects generations in a way only Outlander can. But with so much ground to cover, the pacing will matter more than ever. One thing is certain: if Season 8 succeeds, it could become the most powerful, emotional, and unforgettable chapter in the franchise. And that wraps up today's deep dive. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.